Good morning. We are here to talk about current Colombian education. But before talking education, we have to talk about what education is. And before talking what education is, we have to talk about knowledge. Knowledge is a basic function we all humans have and which we all humans are born with. Knowledge is something we all have in different ways, but it's something that we all not use as it's supposed to. Throughout history, there have been many people who have tried to understand knowledge, and everyone has tried to give its point of view of what knowledge is. But knowledge is nothing without education. Education is the responsible of transforming knowledge into something we can all use and transform to a good for the society and the whole world. There are two basic concepts of education: the formal education and the informal education. The formal education is the education we all know, the education from schools, the education from universities, and the education from work. This education teaches us basic stuff, theoretical stuff, for example, mathematics, and learn how to read and write. But informal education is the most important. Informal education teaches us values and ethics. However, informal education is not important in many countries. Here in Colombia, 56 out of 100 people are graduated from school. And, for example, Nancy said education was the most powerful weapon that we could use to change the world. But here we can see we don't use education. But if education had been properly used, it wouldn't have suffered many problems here in Colombia.
The government should give good education, and itself must fight for earning. Nowadays, schooling is what defines the future of a person. We are guided a score that shows which is our knowledge. But this has undoubtedly caused a great impact on the life of an individual, since it implies that for a result, his future will be affected and that person will no longer be useful for society. But it doesn't mean that if he doesn't present his knowledge at that time, he would not be useful at the future. But thanks to this education system, it will be too late. This has generated that the coexistence between the people is bad, since this structure and development for individual focuses only on the person and nobody else, leaving the being without living and without knowing what is to interact with the other, or even what you feel. Case that it has been presented a lot today, where when carrying out a project, it is thought to benefit a small group of people or even just one. This without taking into account the needs of the rest of the community and not even thinking about the rest of the society. And that's why the government should think more about the education, the informal education they are giving to its people. As Bertrand said once, one of the defects of modern and higher education is that it emphasizes too much the learning of certain specialties and too little in its broadening of the mind and the heart through an impartial analysis of the world, making this the real case of how society is today.
Okay, likewise, informal education has a great role in the development of the character of the person, since through the situations that are presented to him, he develops a critical sense that is the being, is able to express his opinion in front of a topic with a position defined and a clear criteria. We know that the school nowadays create machines to obey orders without any question, and these beings do not question, not because they don't want, because they do not know. They only know what they have been given or what they have been told to know. But their indoctrination does not allow them to go beyond the knowledge they are taught. They don't have criterial thinking. There must be a balance between schooling and education. Apart from creating a good student, you must create a good person. A person who thinks about the common benefits and is able to discern in the issues of the situation to arise throughout of his life. A person who is clear that for his development of a citizen culture is necessary to the formation of being endowed with reason and not a herd of animals, letting themselves be carried away by the primitive instinct. Colombia should keep fighting to achieve this goal, and hopefully Colombia education will have changed a lot by 2050.